Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I thought since it is October, it's almost Halloween, I would bring you along with me as I read thriller books for a week. I've recently gotten into thrillers and mystery books recently and I absolutely love them. I think they're so fun and they're books that I end up reading really quickly because I'm always trying to figure out what's going on, and they're books that you just need to get through because you need to know what's happening. So I have a couple books on my physical TBR that I want to get through this week. I have 3, and then if I get to a 4th book this week, we will see. I have a couple ideas of books that I want to read that are on Kindle Unlimited, so we'll see if I get to those. Not sure. 4 books in a week is kind of a lot for me, especially with work and everything, so I'm not sure that I'll get to those. Yeah, I think it'll be a fun week reading thrillers. I've been reading a lot of romance recently, so I feel like this will be good to kind of break it up a little bit. So without further ado, let's get into my week of reading thrillers. Okay, so the first book I'm going to be reading this week for my thriller mysteries is Sharp Objects by Gillian. I don't know how to say it. Flynn. She's also the author of Gone Girl, which that is a book I plan to read this week. I have it, but she actually wrote this book first. This one came out in 2007, and then Gone Girl came out in 2014, I believe. So I wanted to read them in the order that she wrote them. I don't know why. They're not connected at all, but I just thought I'd read them in that order. So I'm going to start with this one. I read a little bit today on my lunch break. I got to page 17, so didn't get very far in, but I'm now gonna sit down. It's now about 6:30, so I'm hoping I get through a good amount of this. This book isn't very long. It's only 250 pages, and the pages are pretty small, so I feel like I'll hopefully be able to get through this pretty quickly. Excited because I've heard really good things about this book, and it has really good reviews on Goodreads, so hopefully it lives up to the hype. Friday, and I started reading Sharp Objects yesterday, and I am about halfway through now, so I thought I would give you a little bit of an update, kind of a synopsis of what's going on. This is about Camille, and she is a reporter. She lives in Chicago, but she's from a small town in Missouri, and she writes on a lot of crimes and all that kind of stuff. And basically there was a girl a year ago that was murdered in the town that she grew up in, and then there was another girl that had just gone missing. So her boss wanted her to go down there and report on it. So she went down. She doesn't have a very good relationship with her family. She hasn't seen them in a long time, but she's staying with them while she's trying to figure out what's going on with this case. And I will say it's a little slow at the beginning. I don't love the writing style. I'm not sure why. It's just I don't know, not my absolute favorite. There's some weird things that are starting to happen, but I can't tell which are clues and which aren't. It's really interesting because there's some little weird things that'll happen, and then you're that was glossed over so quickly. I'm hoping that stuff is going to start to get revealed soon, because I am now halfway through the book, and parts of it have been pretty disturbing. I will say I would read trigger warnings on this book if you want to pick it up, but from what I've heard, a lot of people say that it is really disturbing, especially whatever actually ends up happening. I honestly have no idea where this is gonna go. I really cannot predict. I've been trying to piece things together, and every time a new character is introduced, I'm oh, did they maybe do it? Because basically they're trying to figure out who murdered these 2 little girls. They think that the murders are connected. There's really weird things happening and I can't figure it out. Okay, so last night I finished Sharp Objects, and oh my god, it was so disturbing. I'd heard that it was creepy and it was disturbing and whatever, so I kind of knew going in, but I was really shocked, and I kind of started to figure out a little bit at the end what was going on. But then when you find out who killed the 2 girls in the town, you're oh my god, that is not what I expected. I will say I feel the beginning was really slow, and I didn't love the writing style. I feel the beginning dragged out a lot, and you really didn't get much of a reveal until honestly the last 50 pages of the book. There were little clues thrown in here and there, but I feel a lot of the main action didn't happen until the very end, and that's pretty common with mystery thrillers, but I don't know, it just felt kind of boring. I feel I was kind of forcing myself to get through it, to get to the end, to get to the reveal. So I only ended up giving this 3 stars. I wouldn't say it's a favorite. I mean, it's good, and if you like creepy sort of psychological thrillers, I think you would enjoy this, but it's not a favorite of mine. So I have 2 more books that I'm like wanting to read this week. If I get to a 4th one, great, but I don't know that I will. I decided I'm gonna start Gone Girl. So this is the other book by Gillian Flynn. I think it's Gillian, so I'm gonna go with that. I've actually seen this movie because this was made into a movie. It's very popular, but it's been years and I honestly kind of forget a lot of what happened. I remember that the wife goes missing and that's really all I remember. So obviously the number 1 suspect for her going missing is the husband, but I think a lot of this book is from his point of view and him trying to like figure out what happened to her. I started a little bit earlier today. I only read like 24 pages though, so I'm not very far in, but I'm gonna try and read a lot tonight. I have no plans again. Having a very lazy weekend this weekend, which I am actually really enjoying because I've been so busy lately and I have a friend coming in town next weekend, so I kind of just want to like chill this weekend. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get through a good chunk of this. This book is 413 pages, so I'm gonna try and get like at least maybe halfway through tonight. It's only 5:30, so honestly I'll probably get more done. But yeah, we are starting Gone Girl and I will keep you guys updated with my thoughts. Thought I would give you guys a little bit of an update on where I'm at with Gone Girl. So last night I read quite a bit and I ended up getting to page 172. I tried to get to page 200 so I could be like basically halfway through, but I was getting so tired and I literally couldn't stay awake. So I'm a little less than halfway through the book. I'm gonna maybe try and finish it today. It's Sunday. I don't have a ton going on. I like already did my grocery shopping and all that kind of stuff and it's only 11:30. I do have to film and edit another video though. So I don't know that I will get to finish Gone Girl, but we will see. So far I am enjoying it. I feel like with most thrillers, there's kind of this lull in the beginning. You have to like set the scene and all this kind of stuff, but I feel like now I'm starting to pick up on like little things that are happening. So Amy is the wife and she goes missing and now Nick is trying to figure out what happened to her. And a lot of the book is told from his point of view and then there's little flashbacks to Amy throughout the years of different diary entries that she's written. And there's just weird things that happen. Like Nick from the beginning like says, you know, he's talking to the police, all this kind of stuff, and then he'll be like, and that was the 10th time I lied to the police today. But you don't know what his lies were, so you're like, oh my god, like who can you trust? Like Nick is a very unreliable narrator. Also the diary entries from Amy start when her and Nick meet and then are up until, I'm assuming up until she goes missing. Right now I'm only up to her journal entries that are like a year before she goes missing, but weird things happen in their relationship. They're like having relational issues and everything. So did Nick do it? Did she go missing on purpose? Like what is going on? So I'm intrigued to keep reading. As I'm reading this, I'm starting to remember things from the movie, but also it's been so long since I've seen it, so I kind of don't remember exactly what happens, and I don't remember the ending, which is like the most important part. Tuesday now and I finished Gone Girl last night, so I wanted to give you my updates. I did enjoy it. I was gonna give it 4 stars, but then the ending kind of fell flat for me, so I ended up giving it 3.5. So the reasoning the ending fell flat is I feel like in most thrillers there's like a big reveal on the last page, or like the reveals go all the way up till the very end, but here it was kind of like you knew all along what was happening and like you kind of got the big plot twist like in the middle, and then it was kind of just the resolution and like what happened because of that. I'm not sure if that makes sense. It's hard to explain without like giving anything away, but I like thriller books that like keep you guessing and keep you like wanting to know what's gonna happen till the very end, and this one didn't necessarily do that. So I think that's why I like wasn't as obsessed with it. The middle of the book was like great. Like I loved the middle section. I kept like wanting to turn my page, like needing to know what was gonna happen. But then the like last little bit of it, I don't know, wasn't my favorite. So the next book we are going to be reading is Lisa Jewell's None of This Is True, and I'm really excited to get into this. This was my book of the month in August, and haven't heard a lot of people talk about this, but it has really good reviews on Goodreads. It has like 4.2 stars, I think, or something, which is like really good. So I'm excited to get into this. I've never read anything by her. Yeah, so I will of course keep you updated. It is about when a famous podcaster interviews a stranger promising to divulge the story of a lifetime, secrets emerge that threaten to expose the truth of the lives they've both worked hard to project and protect. So, should be interesting. I'm excited to get into this. Yeah, and I'll keep you guys updated, obviously, and give you all my thoughts, my opinions, and all that kind of stuff. Welcome to my bathroom. So I'm currently getting ready for work. It is Thursday, but I thought I would give you guys an update on where I'm at with None of This Is True. So this vlog is gonna end up being like a week-ish because I'm gonna try and finish it today. So we're technically doing 8 days instead of 7 days, but whatever. So last night I read a ton. This book is like so fast-paced. The chapters are super short, and like at the end of every chapter, I feel like there's a little something that like gets revealed, or like something weird that happens that you're like, okay, I need to like read the next. So last night, I think I read like 200 pages. Like I only have like 100-ish pages left, a little more than that, but I'm gonna really try and finish it today. I think I'll be able to, because like I said, the chapters are super short and it's really fast paced. So the premise is Alex is a podcaster, and normally her podcasts are about like women that have like changed their lives and whatever, business owners, CEOs, entrepreneurs, all that kind of stuff. And then Josie approaches her. They meet at a restaurant and they realize they have the exact same birthday, same year and everything, and they were born in the same hospital. And so Josie approaches her and is like, what do you think about doing a podcast where someone is in the midst of changing their lives? Because normally the podcast that Alex does is like after they've like completed everything and like changed their lives, and Josie's like, I'm in the middle of like trying to like revamp my life, and Alex is interested, and so she's like, okay, let's do it. So Josie starts coming around her house and like weird stuff is happening. You get both, it's told in third person, but you get like Josie and Alex's lives and like what's going on in both of their lives, and just weird stuff starts happening. Like Josie is just like odd, and she has a husband that's like 30 something years older than her that she met when she was like 15, so like very problematic. Also, she has 2 kids that like don't talk to her. Her one daughter like lives in their house but like doesn't ever leave her room. It's like just weird things are happening, and then over time she starts to like tell Alex these weird things, and like slowly things start to get revealed, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, it's actually really crazy. I was reading last night and I was just like, what is going on? Like, this is literally like so crazy, like weird stuff is happening. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. A lot of the reviews on Goodreads were like, did not expect the ending, that's crazy. Like everyone was just like, I don't even understand what I just read. Like, it's insane. It's definitely more like a psychological thriller, which those are my favorite types of thrillers to read. So I'm excited to see where this goes. Like I said, gonna try and finish it today, and I'll update you guys. Hey guys, so it's actually been a couple of days since I finished None of This Is True. The reason I haven't updated at all is because I then had a friend in town. It was Halloween weekend, so kind of busy, lots going on. But I wanted to give you my final thoughts on this book. So I actually really enjoyed it. As the title says, like, none of this is true. There's so much lying and twists and turns, and you don't know who to believe. It's written in third person, but you are getting some of the like thoughts and feelings from the different characters. So it's kind of hard to like know who to believe. I also thought it was a really fun read because so interspersed you get like dialogue from the podcast that Alex is the host of, and then you also get little clips of a few years later after all this happens. She ends up making a Netflix series out of it, Alex does. So there's then little clips or little parts that would be like taken out of the Netflix show, if that makes any sense. So it's a lot of fun. It was a really interesting like way to write that. I feel like I haven't seen that before in a book, but I really enjoyed it. So I ended up giving it 4.25 stars, which I know is specific, but I feel like it wasn't quite a 4.5, but like 4 didn't quite feel right. The ending too is kind of crazy because it almost leaves it up for interpretation, if that makes sense, because throughout this whole thing you haven't known who to believe, and then at the very end what you thought you knew was then told that it was a lie, but that person's been lying the whole time. So then you're like, are they just lying again? Like, it's, I don't know. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was one of those books that kind of afterwards I like just sat and like stared at the wall and I was like, what did I just read? Like what just happened? But it was a lot of fun. So thank you guys for coming along with me for this week-ish of reading thriller books. It was so much fun. It's made me want to continue to read more thrillers. So if you have any recommendations, please leave them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and I will see you in my next one. Bye.